Okay, day 22,500 and something, dealing with just retards trying to fix stuff. Oh, never mind the spear in the background. Um, so we have a bunch of these dining chairs that my wife had bought some years ago. Really nice. They have leather and metal on them, and they have roller coasters. And we had one that was messed up, and the whole lot just needs to be reupholstered. And so that's what I'm doing now. The chair is reupholstering the chairs because they just kind of sink down, and there's webbing underneath the foam from underneath the bottom, and that's given out. So I got to pop all the cushions off and just reupholster them as a set. It comes off as a little bit difficult, but it does come off. Um, but we had this one that was supplemented to the existing set, I think, at some point, or someone decided to fix it. And I say fix it not correctly. So there's these things where the roller casters go in, and as you can see, it's a metal plate with pre-threaded to take a standard threaded roller ball, which is this type. It goes in, you type it, you push it in, screw it down, screw it out. And I'm kind of after the fact here on this. So what I did, or had to do, was I had 1, 2, 3 legs that are wrapped in the leather here, and they kind of come down, and there's some taping here, there's some rod here for the cross structure support. Really well made to begin with. So this piece, it's metal here, and it's a section that's attached to these 2 legs. And rather than getting another one of these to replace probably bad casters on this, they went and got a bunch of these pop-in types. Now, pop-in types won't fit in the original ones. They just don't go in because they're the wrong kind. You got to have the threaded kind. So someone at one point bought a pack of these, probably not with the inserts, just the ends, because you can buy them without the inserts if you want them. So it's like 3 different kinds of these. There's the threaded one I showed earlier, these kind, and there's another kind where this sort of plate underneath the ball bearing, or backs by the ball bearings, on top of that is like a square plate, and so you mount it, and then there's 4 holes where you screw it down, like usually to a piece of furniture, not to a chair or something, but that gives you those casters, and it just mounts directly to the wood. On these inserts, and I have a new box of the inserts for this chair that I bought, and I specifically had to buy the insert type thing because someone had messed up 3 of these legs, and on 4 of them, I didn't have to do anything on that one because it's still structurally sound, but 3 of them, I had to draw some really long screws in to go down into the wood down here low enough to fix this so that it's structurally sound, because they were wobbling back and forth, and basically I think whatever was inside there, because I didn't unwrap it, was just basically holding on, and it was just really wobbly. Maybe deviates by about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch each on these. And then the old legs, the old casters they had on, don't take the old caster, they would fit in there, but what they did was they drilled this out sufficiently to drive one of these old ones through it, and then pop that full of some kind of glue or epoxy, and then drill that out, or just don't hold it in. They got it so this would probably just fit in, and then they put glue all over that, and then just put it in there. So basically I had to pry these out of the existing holes, and one of them was like really super loose because it was metal against some kind of epoxy in the big hole on these. And so they were all popping out and dropping out. If you lifted the chairs, they would drop out, and they were hanging out kind of like loose, and they were flopping around inside there because it does have like kind of an empty cavity sort of in there. By design, this metal cap end is about, you know, 1/2 inch thick and threaded, and that's what holds it in. And it's got structure that goes down and wraps metal around these other, you know, main 2 support legs that make, or support beams or whatever, that make up the leg, you know, the leg through this bottom part. So I started the video after fixing this last night. So I drove these screws in. Again, it's real solid now. It's holding it. They're not flopping back and forth, which is great. And I took the new set, had these things in here, and they were just, you know, kind of big enough to get in there. But still, they were flopping. They're a little bit wider than the others, and they have this expansion joint. So when you put the ball in, and I'll figure that out, they slide into these sleeves and then lock down after popping in. And then this is how these typically work. I would have bought some new rollers for the rolling kind, which I've got on order, so they're coming. So I'm going to replace all the rollers on there because, again, never mind the sphere, I'm reupholstering all these chairs because they're sinking down. So that has to be done no matter what. And while I was on it, I put these new, redid this whole thing so I can just pop the new wheels in there and just pop them down. And then now that bottom part's there, and then I just got to reupholster the chair. So day 22,500 of dealing with retards that think they know how to fix things, but they don't know how to fix things right. And now that's real solid. I used some construction adhesive to hold that in there, and, you know, obviously let it sit up for 24 hours because that's the set time. So if you're dealing with fixes from the brain dead, I sympathize with you. Thank you.